Hi, I'm Kevin, and I'm here today to talk about the Tecnica Phoenix 110 HVL ski boot. Phoenix 110 HVL is a very unique boot. Most high-performance boots that are like 100 flex and up are generally going to be pretty narrow in the last. They're going to be like 100, maybe 102, sometimes even as narrow as 98 millimeters at the ball of the foot. That'll fit like an A to like maybe a CD width. What's unique about this boot is it's wide. It's a very high volume. That's what the HVL stands for, is high volume last. This boot is 106 millimeters at the ball of the foot, which is very, very wide. It accommodates an E to a triple E width. So there's a lot of big guys out there that are very good skiers that have very big, wide, high instep feet, and this is your go-to boot for those guys. No other company out there in the market has a boot that's this wide, that is this much of a performance-oriented boot. So totally unique product here from Tecnica. It's been in their line as some form or another in the last couple of years, and it's been a very successful boot for them. Get into the nuts and bolts here. This is having an adjustable flex. It's a 100 to 110 flex boot. So depending on the size of the skier and depending on where you're skiing, you can kind of dial in the flex a little bit. 110, flex. That's going to be a nice performance level flex. Lots of energy transmission, lots of control over those high performance skis that need a lot of grip and power to drive them. As I mentioned, it does have an adjustable flex. There's a switch lever here on the back. You can flip that up or down, so you can soften or stiffen the flex by 10%, depending on how you feel you're skiing, or your weight, or the conditions you're skiing in that day. Flipping the boot back around, we've got a full carbon steel micro adjustable buckles here. All four of them are. The carbon steel makes the boot buckles very durable. You can also make them very thin because they're higher strength, and because they are so thin, it also makes them very lightweight. They are all micro adjustable, which means we can spin them around 360 degrees, ratchet them in and out. And what that does for us is that if we're in between latches here on the insteps, and even on the cuffs, you don't have to crank the buckle too tight or loosen it up. You can really get it dialed in for the perfect fit out there. We've got an outside cuff alignment here. So if you're bow-legged where you go out, knock-kneed where you come in on your knee alignment, this will allow you to line up that cuff with your knee alignment and relieve some of that pressure that you normally get on your ankles, so you can be more comfortable for a full day of skiing. Some other cool features is it does have Tecnica's AVS, or anti-vibration system, here in the sole. It's a softer and elastomeric material that they embed this white material here. It's embedded into the heel of the sole of the boot. That helps absorb vibrations, so you get less stress on your ankles, your joints, your knees, whatnot. It kind of absorbs some of those imperfections of the snow, so it doesn't get transmitted to your whole body. It also features an AVS sole here as well, so it's a little bit grippier material on the bottom, so it makes the boot less slippery when you're walking around in the lodge or climbing upstairs and whatnot, so you're less prone to slipping in this boot. Here we've got a nice big beefy 35 millimeter power strap. Again, it's going to provide a lot of contour around your calf and your lower legs, so you can get a really precise fit, and that power is not lost. It goes directly to the skis from your boot. I think that about wraps it up for the shell. We'll move on to the liner. It's a pretty feature-packed liner. You've got their 3D liner. It's their HiPerFit liner. So it's going to be Tecnica's highest performance recreational liner in the Phoenix series. So it's very warm, comfortable. It's a little bit stiffer than some of the lower level liners like their Comfort Fit and whatnot. And what that's going to do is provide better energy transfer for that higher performance skier. It doesn't lack comfort though. It's still soft, it's plush, it's pliable. As you can see, it's got a nice fleece lining in the tongue and the upper cuff here. Provides a lot of warmth, comfort, and it's neoprene backed right here with this orange materials to allow your heel to slide very easily into the boot. It's also got the tongue pull, allows you to pull the tongue forward, get it out of the way, easier to get into that boot once again. We've also got a neoprene toe box here. That's going to allow your toes to wiggle around a lot. Freedom of movement, you don't get that shock on your toes. Provides a lot more comfort. You don't have to worry about waiting for the boot to break in. It's also got Tecnica's FIT, or floating tongue system. That allows the tongue to float and pivot so that you can kind of dial it in based on your instep and in position you exactly want the tongue in. A lot of tongues are stationary. This one floats around and slides, so adaptable to different types of feet. On the back here, we've got an adjustable, removable spoiler. That allows us to really dial it in for different volumes of calves and whatnot. So if you have a high volume calf, you can actually remove it and ski without the spoiler, and that'll give you more room in the back of the boot. That about wraps it up for the Tecnica Phoenix 110 HVL. Like I said, it's a very unique boot in the market for that guy that's got a big, wide foot and he needs a high performance boot.